as you get closer to game time, are you closer to a decision on lineup and who's in and who's out?
Yeah, there's still a couple that warm-ups will decide, but Schmott's in. Connor Brown's not going to go. Zaitsev's not going to go. Colin White not able to return and go. So we'll have Sabrin in. Kostelic will stay in. And then obviously the defense, Chabot takes Zaitsev's spot. Forsberg in net.
Anything serious on Brown and Zaitsev?
No, just nagging, and they've been playing through it, and Zaitsev's non-COVID illness, and Brown's just had an upper body thing that's lingering, and he's unable to go.
You said last week that Vancouver was the closest that you could have as a playoff atmosphere. Well, this game like this tonight, does that have playoff flavor for you and for your team?
No, I mean, it's got competitive nature to the game, but the playoff is when the other team absolutely needs the points, and they're doing everything in their power to get them. This is two young teams that want to win the game, but and are certainly going to do so. But that atmosphere in Vancouver, when we were walking there, they had people outside, flags. It had that feel of an actual playoff game. The way the crowd was, the way the atmosphere was. This is a real good rivalry, young guys competing against each other, but it's not at the playoff level yet. But we look forward to having that challenge in the years to come.
It's getting a guy like Chabot back.
He's our best player. I mean, he does everything from, break the puck out to the power play to all the things he does. Just watching him at morning skate this morning, you forget how good he skates and all the things he does. He plays the most minutes. We've got a lot of good players, but it'd be real hard to continue winning games or to do anything here in Ottawa without him.
Was it a nice surprise for you that he was ready to go, or was it leaning this way? Was there any thought to maybe having a grind skate with you Monday and then play? Or?
Yeah, he really wanted to play tonight. Obviously Montreal here at home. Sold out crowd. He wanted to be in this game, and it's something he talked about a couple weeks ago. We weren't going to put him unless he was, 1,000%, and we talked about that. And unfortunately, couldn't get in practice. But this is also a guy that's played in, however many games in the league, and is able to jump in and probably go right away. We wouldn't put him in if there was any danger there, but we'll see how he is, and we'll see how his minutes go.
I know he's not playing tonight, DJ, but I did want to ask you just about what you've seen in Philip Gustafson in the last two games that maybe you weren't seeing when he got sent down last month. Is it just confidence?
Well, yeah, you don't know goalies. It's so hard. I mean, they get hot. They lose their confidence, and they're totally different goalies. And Gus, that start in Vancouver wasn't ideal, but then he was able to battle through, and I think that built him confidence. Then what we saw in Columbus yesterday was the same Gus we saw last year at the end. And, he had a rough ride during the middle of the year, but then saying that, COVID in November, he got a lot of those, he got some starts there. He got some starts in front of some efforts by the team and a real short-staffed crew that gave up a lot more than we gave up in the last couple games. So probably a combination, but either way, it's good to see him back and feeling good.
Just you mentioned that you brought Sabrin up. Just given what went on last time, do you think you need some presence there?
Well, just like Kostelic, he would have been here at the trade deadline. Timmy's never been hit harder since the trade deadline. And he continues to battle through, injuries and what have you. But Savvy's was a real big part to Belleville. If you talk to Troy Mann, he has a huge presence for them down there, and we're trying to help Belleville as much as we can. But at this point, with so many injuries and, some physical teams coming in here at the end of the year, I think it's just the right time to bring them up.
DJ, you get Chabot back as you mentioned tonight, but over this last stretch here, any chance you see Shane Pinto or Jake Sanderson?
I mean, we're running out of track here. I mean, I'd like them both to play, and the game plan is that they would play, but we're running out of time, and it's not looking good at this point.
100th game for Anton Forsberg tonight. Just what has he meant to this organization and his journey to from a guy who's on waivers so many times, to obviously signing a 3-year deal not too long?
Well, the biggest thing is we're lucky to have him, and we're lucky to have found the guy. And you never know when you're going to find it. You know, the guy. There's goalies. It's such a finicky position, and you never know when the guy finds his confidence or finds his game. And you know, and I've said plenty of times, his work ethic has allowed him to be ready when the opportunity was there, and he never quit on himself. He kept going, and we're a better organization for it. You know, whether he's the main guy or, you know, over time here, he's a guy that to me just has continued to prove, you know, that he's solid for us, and he's been our best goalie all year.
It will be an emotional game for the Montreal Canadiens with what happened yesterday with the passing of Guy Lafleur. Just maybe your memories, we're going back, but your memories of Guy Lafleur.
Well, you know what? When I was a kid, I grew up in a French community in River Canard outside of Windsor, and everybody was a Montreal fan. And you know, Guy Lafleur and all the Stanley Cups, and I was a Red Wing fan, and it was a constant rub-in that they were winning every year, and just. You know, Guy Lafleur, I got to see him live, I think. He was with the Rangers. He wasn't the same player at the end, but all the highlight reels, it is incredible how good he was. And I had a buddy that's in hockey send me a tribute video to him yesterday. It sent chills down your spine just watching, and the passion and the emotion. And it's unfortunate too in the same week, Mike Bossy and him. And you forget how good these guys were in their era with almost a straight stick. You know, how quickly they got their shots off, and how good would they be with today's equipment? You know what I mean? So it is an emotional time. You know, he's a huge part of the Montreal Canadiens and their community. And obviously here in Ottawa, there's a lot of Montreal fans as well. So we're going to pay our respects today to a player that was great, and a lot of people, I'm sure that was their favorite player growing up.
Going back to Gallagher's comments a week and a half ago and all that, are you playing with that in the back of your mind?
No. No, I got not. My concern as a coach is Tim Stützle continuing to get better, and he continues to get better. I'm not worried what anyone says about Tim. Tim, over time, is going to prove how good of a player he is and how tough of a player he is. You know, what I've seen, the growth in him this year, the way he's played through things, especially here the last little bit. You know, I know how much it took him to get ready for that Columbus game. He easily could have sat that out. I know Tim's a tough kid, and we're going to see it over years to come here in Ottawa, and I'm just happy to coach him.
You've obviously had an emotional game last month with the passing of Eugene Melnyk. There's going to be another one tonight. What does that change compared to a regular game when there's a tribute like that before the game?
Well, it gets everyone going. The big thing for our guys is, you know, I hate to say, with the no fans a lot of times this year, we were, you know, Ontario was limited and had no fans, you know, very limited fans. You know, we have a better road record. And the excitement of the fans, you know, gets our guys up and gets them going. And unfortunate for our fans, they were unable to come to the games. And, you know, and when the fans have come, you know, I think we do everything in our power to give them an effort. We want the fans to be behind us. We're excited to have our fans in the building, but there's nothing we could do. We played so many games, you know, where they would only let so many people in the building. And, you know, our guys get revved up when the crowd comes. The crowd's going to be here today. It was a great game last Saturday against Toronto here. Fans were right into the game, and our guys love it. And I think, you know, hopefully we're done with this COVID, but over time, you know, I think the fans are going to come out in droves to watch these kids play, and I think they're going to reward the fans for coming.